Hey guys, it's Reagan, and today I'm doing, oh my hair looks bad. I'm doing my New York / BEA book haul. Yes. And to be completely honest, I got 10 books in New York total, but only 5 of which were from BEA, and then I bought 5 books, and the 5 books I actually got from BEA or BookCon wasn't actually from the BookCon convention, it was from a luncheon that I was invited to. So I would just say overall, in terms of books available, BookCon was kind of a fail in that aspect, but BookCon itself was not because I got to meet so many awesome people, from viewers to friends, so it was totally worth it because I got to meet a whole bunch of people, but BookCon needs to step up their book game, if you know what I'm saying. But like I said, I ended up getting 5 ARCs from BookCon, all of which are signed, which is pretty darn cool. And the first one is Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld. This book is monstrous, and I actually got to hear Scott Westerfeld talk about this book, which was awesome. And the synopsis is really cool, so I'll try to do it quick because it's rather complicated. So Afterworlds is actually like 2 books in one. It's following a young, recently published, like I say young, like our age, like 19, 18 girl who just recently got her first book published. So the whole book is like the process of her rewriting this book, and then also the book itself. So you kind of get this really cool dynamic of like the book being written, and you get to see how her life and her talking to her, like her thought processes and her like meeting and talking to people are influencing the book itself as she's writing it. So that's why this is so big, because there's actually 2 books in here, which I think is a really cool idea, and I'm very excited to read this. I have loved all of Scott Westerfeld's books, so I have faith in this. The book I got is Black Ice by Becca Fitzpatrick. Before I heard her talk about this and give a synopsis, I was like, meh, because I didn't particularly like the Hush Hush series, but this book sounds really intriguing and really interesting. It's more like a psychological thriller. Basically, it follows a young girl who goes on her senior trip to go hiking through these like mountains in like the middle of nowhere, because she lives in the middle of nowhere, and this freak snowstorm happens, and she ends up getting like kidnapped by these 2 fugitives, and then she makes a deal with these 2 fugitives to help, like they'll let her go if they help them down the mountain or whatever, and then she starts kind of getting feelings for one. So it kind of makes me think this might have like Stockholm Syndrome in it or something along those lines, just something really interesting. I love the idea of having like weird kidnapping, like someone gets kidnapped and then the psychological distress that happens with that, and then maybe developing some sort of like psychological disorder like Stockholm Syndrome. I have expectations for this book, so I'm hoping they're reached, but I'm quite excited to read this. Next book I have to show you is Compulsion by Martina Boone, and from what I could gather about this is kind of like a Southern Gothic witch story. This is a pretty complicated synopsis, but it follows a girl who moves back to the South, and there she finds out a whole bunch of secrets about her family, probably having to do with like witchcraft or something, and then a whole bunch of shenanigans happens. I'm interested in this because I like the idea of like a Southern Gothic setting. I think it's really interesting. It's just a cool setting. So yeah, I'm excited to get to this. Yep. The next book I have to show you guys is Sublime by Christina Lauren, and that's actually 2 people, that's like their combined name. And this is their young adult debut novel. This is about a girl who I think has a near-death experience, and because of that she's able to see ghosts, or she is a ghost, and then she meets someone else who has that same ability, and then crazy stuff happens. I'm pretty sure this is like supposed to be not like a Jennifer L. Armentrout, like Obsidian, like heavily romance-based with some paranormal aspects. So I think this will be pretty good if I'm in the mood for that, and I think a lot of people would also really enjoy this. The last book I got from that luncheon is Poison Princess by Kresley Cole, and obviously this book is already out, but they're doing a cover relaunch, so this cover doesn't come out till August, and then the second book that also got a cover redone doesn't come out till September, and the last book comes out in January. Anyway, I'm really excited I got my hands on this because I've been really wanting to read this, but I hated the old covers, and I knew they were relaunching the covers, so I'm so happy I got this early so I can read it. I'm actually going to read this next. I'm really excited, and this is a post-apocalyptic paranormal romance adventure book, but she uses tarot cards as like the main thing. Like all the characters are a character from a tarot card, and that just sounds so cool. And apparently it's like, in addition to this, it's like a contest in this post-apocalyptic world where everyone's like fighting to the death or fighting for something. I don't know. It sounds really awesome. She was talking about it and I just got super intrigued. And yes, I'm really excited to get into this because I know Cassidy Voiche really likes it. Well, like I said, those are all the books I actually got from the convention itself, but I also did some book shopping. I went to the Strand in New York City, which was awesome, and I got to meet more viewers and more friends. And the Strand itself as a bookstore is freaking awesome because they have all these new books, but they're so cheap. Like, all of the books I got are under $10, and 4 of which are hardcovers that are pretty darn new. So the first book I got for $9. And it is The Prisoner of Night and Fog, and this is a historical fiction novel, I believe following like Hitler's niece or something, but she falls in love with a Jewish reporter, so obviously that's a pretty big conflict. And again, I've just been hearing so many good things about this, and I love historical fiction set in like World War II or just the early 20th century, so I'm really excited to get to this. The next 2 books are part of a series, and I've already read both of them because they're quite addicting. The first one is Unspoken by Sarah Rees Brennan and Untold by Sarah Rees Brennan. Woo! And I'm actually participating in a read-along for these, for Unspoken rather, and I will leave Ashley, because she's hosting it, information in the down bar, so if you want to participate, we're doing a live show pretty soon, but these are really good. Okay. Time for a synopsis. Like I said, I've already read both of these. So good. But Unspoken follows a young girl who lives in a super small town called Sorry in the Vale, which I think is such a funny name. And all her life, she's had like an imaginary friend, and they've been able to communicate and talk, but then one day, she meets her imaginary friend in real life, IRL. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, wait a second. What? And then there's like a whole bunch of secrets get unraveled about Sorry in the Vale, the town she lives in. The thing, just to say this because I've already read this, I love this series. The story's pretty good, but the best part is the character, specifically the main character. She is such a boss. She's such like a great like feminist female protagonist, and I'm just like, I love you, girl. Like, she stands up for herself. She don't need no man. She's like, she can protect herself. She can speak for herself. She's so great. Like, she's such a great female protagonist. Like, yes, everyone, like, more characters need to take a page from her book because she's awesome. Like, I really, really freaking love her. And I got this paperback for $7.95, and I got the sequel in hardback for $8.95, and I've already read it, and I want the last one, but it's not out yet. The next book I got for $7.95, and which is so cheap because on Amazon it's like $15, and it is Lemony Snicket's Who Could That Be at This Hour, the first book in the All the Wrong Questions series, and apparently this is his new series, and apparently this is maybe like a prequel to the series of unfortunate events. I don't know, because obviously this is extremely cryptic, but I'm really excited. I love Lemony Snicket. I love his books. I love his writing, so I'm really excited to continue on with this new series, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great time. And the last book I got for $9. Such a great deal, and it is Her Dark Curiosity by Megan Shepherd. This is the second book to the, I don't know what the series name is, but the first one is The Madman's Daughter. And these books are really cool because they're basically young adult retellings of like really famous gothic stories. The first one, Madman's Daughter, is Dr. Moreau's Island. I actually don't know what it's called, but I know this one is Frankenstein. And I love gothic literature, so of course I love gothic young adult retellings of literature. And so I'm really excited. So yes. Plus these covers are absolutely stunning. I love them, and yes, I'm really excited. Alrighty guys, that is my BEA/book haul, and yeah, I will have a June book haul at the end of the month, so don't worry. But yes, I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye!